Hey there, welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing us how to make stunning designs with CorelDraw. You know, they say the beauty of a design lies in the person creating it and not the tool. So in today's class, I'm going to be using CorelDraw to give you an amazing designs. Let's go into this. If you stick with me to the end of this class, you must have learned how to create very nice designs, which I'm going to be showing us right now. So you're going to learn how to create designs like this, even this one. All these designs were solely designed on CorelDraw. They were all made on CorelDraw. To learn how to create all these designs right now. So basically, I'm going to be introducing us to the tools. We're going to be using to create all those designs. The first one here is called the pick tool. It's used to pick a tool and drop it. For instance, I want to draw something here, so I'll just click on this and draw. If I'm done with this tool, if I don't drop it here and try to select something else, you see to keep on drawing more shapes till I decide to drop it. That's when I can now do any other thing. So the next thing here now is called the shape tool. What this does is you can use it to create a shape, or maybe create a curve, or whatever you want with your design. You can just click on this. You can use it to create a curve, any type of curve you want. You can use it to achieve that if you want something like this. So that's what this tool here does. So the next thing we're going to be talking about now is the crop tool. What this crop tool does, it helps you trim out a picture. So let me just get a picture, for instance. Okay, let me get this. And I want to trim out this little man here. So I'll go to crop tool and just hover it over him. Then I just say crop. Then I've been able to extract that from this image. So the next option I have here is called the zoom tool. What this zoom tool does is to help you bring in closer. When you're designing, let's say for instance, I want to design this section. I want to type in something here. The way it's looking is looking very small. So with this zoom tool, I can bring in this place closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. Secondly, when you're typing, this is me typing. You can see me typing, but these things look very small. So for me to access it better, I'll just click on this zoom tool and just hover the mouse across it this way. So this way I can change the color, add shadow to it, and every other thing. So that's about that tool. Let's drop it. And the next one we're going to be talking about here now is this freehand tool. What freehand tool does, it helps you sketch some things you cannot create with your shape. It just helps you do a basic sketch of whatever you're looking for. You just create it yourself. So like I've been able to just create this avatar right now. So like I said before, it depends on your creative skill. So that's about freehand. There are other options, like when you click this drop down arrow here, you're going to see all other options available there which you can explore. The next thing here now is called the artistic media. What this does is like a brush tool. You can change it from here. You just create things with it. Go back here, maybe say object or calligraph. You can pick anyone at all. You can see. go down to this option here and pick any style you want. You can go to the brush, go to this one here, still go down and just play around it. Just play around it. So the next thing we're going to be looking at right now is the rectangle tool. Let me delete all of this. So the rectangle tool is what we use to draw our basic shapes like square, rectangle, rhombus, whichever shape you want. Then if you want to curve the edges of this, you could just simply select this shape tool and you hold down shift and you drag in the edge. You can see that. Or if you want to increase just two sides, when you select it, you hold down this, then you hold down shift, then you select this edge, then you reduce it. So all these shapes can be gotten from the rectangle tool. So the next thing here is called the ellipse tool. What ellipse tool does, it helps you create things like circle, oval shape, egg shape, anything circle. You can achieve that with this. And if you want to get a perfect circle, you can hold down Control and just draw it. You get a perfect circle. If you leave Control, it's going to change the dimension of your circle, but if you hold down Control, it's going to give you a perfect circle. So the next one we're going to be looking at is called the polygon tool. What polygon tool does is to help you create any other shape that you can't get with either rectangle tool or the ellipse tool. So let's say you want to get a maybe a hexagon or septagon or nonagon or decagon. You can just draw it right here, then you come to this top side, then you increase the number of sides you want, as the case may be. If you are trying to get any other shape, you can just click on this drop down arrow over here, then you can select either star. You can create your star. You can increase the number of sides your star has. You can even increase the angle. You can increase this angle over here. Let's increase this. Just like you want to create a call out action. So you can see it. You can see what it's turning out to. So that is how you create things like this. There are more options there. You can check them out, like the common shapes. From common shapes, you can draw your arrow. From common shapes, you can have all of this, the back arrow, every other shape you can get it, even in this one here. So the next thing we're going to be talking about now is the text tool. This is the most important because that's where you type in every text you're going to be working with on your design. So when you click on this now, you can type in anything you want. You can see that. Then when you come to this top side, you can change the font to whichever font you want. You can increase the size of this. You can make it bold. You can do italics or underline. So you can see me changing the font right now. So you can see the font has changed. You can either increase the size from here, or you just drag it here to reduce or increase it. So the next thing we're going to be talking about here is this parallel dimension tool. What parallel dimension tool does is to help you scale a particular design. Let's say you want to create a banner or a billboard or just anything you need to produce. You can use this parallel dimension tool to create dimensions. You just drag it. You can see. So this has given us the dimension of this line I just made. This has given us the exact dimension of this line I just drew right now. This one here is called the connector tool. What connector tool does is just help you connect lines in case you're creating any kind of shape. You can see just drawing basic lines for you and connecting it and all that. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the drop shadow. I love using drop shadow a lot because it has a way of portraying your design very well. Let's take a look at this, for instance, or let's make use of this one. I'm going to give this a white color, then I'm going to remove the outline. Let me zoom into it. I'm going to give it a white color and I'm going to remove the outline. So you can see there is no outline right now and it's looking as if the work is lost. But once you just bring in drop shadow to this now, it makes the work pop. Can you see that? It makes the work pop. You can reduce the size, you can reduce the shadow, you can reduce the thickness, you can reduce the transparency. There are a whole lot you can actually adjust from this tool right here. So just make sure you understand how to use the tool. So that's about drop shadow. The next thing we're going to be talking about here right now is transparency, and I'm going to show you how transparency works. I want to fade this part of this job. Okay, let me just get something entirely different. Let me see if I can get a picture from my downloads. Okay, let me work with this. Alright, let me delete every other thing and paste it. So I'm working on something and I want to fade this picture a bit. I don't want people to notice this sharp edge, the sharp cut on this picture. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me zoom into it. I'll go to the zoom tool, then I'll draw the mouse. I'll hover it over this and drop it before the end of the picture. So you can see the picture fading away. You can see it. So with this now, you won't see where this picture ends. Then as it is, I can now type on this section and it will come out perfectly. So this helps you bring out the beauty of your work. The next way you can use this is if you want to get a background for your work. You want to get a background for your work. Do I have any background here? I don't have a background, but I'm just going to work with anyone. So let me just pick this as a background. I'm going to drop it here, then power clip it into this box. Power clip. Let me fit it. So now I want to put this picture. I want to have my picture on this background, but you can see now the picture is looking lost on this background because of how bright the picture is. So now what I want to do now is to fade this background a bit. So I'm going to click on this now and edit power clip, then select the image, then go to this transparency tool. I can just make it uniform transparency. What uniform transparency does is it is going to make everything uniform. It's going to make everything uniform. You can see it. It has faded it and it's uniform. You can adjust it by typing the transparency level you want here, or by using this progress bar to increase or reduce it. So the next thing I want to do now is I don't want it to fade completely, so I want a section of it to fade. So I'm going to draw this transparency this way. So I want it to fade from up down. Do you understand? So you can see it. The top will still be a bit visible, but the down will disappear completely. So there are different ways you can actually play around this tool. There are different ways you can play around this tool. So that's about the zoom tool. So the next thing here now is called the color eyedropper. I love this tool so much because it helps you reduce the stress of trying to get colors from color palettes. Let me show you how this works. Let's say now I'm trying to make a design and I am looking for this particular color, this purple here, or this shade of pink, or this orange. All I need to do is just to draw a container. Just draw a container over here, then pick this. Just notice that you just have two colors here, which is blue and white. This down part here now, what you have there are colors you've used on a particular design. You have your color palette here, but any one you use from here will be registered here as a color you've used on your design. So just notice that I'm going to drop this cursor on this pink here and just pick the color. Once you click on it, it picks the color. Then it's looking for a container to pour the color in. You can see the sign of it there. When it gets to a container that I could pour a color in, it changes. So I can just drop the color there. Once the color is dropped, you're going to notice the color will be added to your palette and you can use it for any other design. Same with if you want to pick another color, you go to the color eyedropper again, then you come this way. Let's pick this orange, then you just drop it into any container and it will be registered in the palette. So when you're now creating your designs, it will be easier for you to just come to this place and just pick a color without having to recreate any color at all. So that's about this. This one here now is the bucket. When you pick a color, you're going to see a bucket like something will appear. You can see it. So that's to show you that it contains a color. So now it's looking for where to pour in the color. So that's what this tool here stands for. So with that, we are done with the introductory part of this class. So I'll see you in the next class.